here we are in this digital space, totally inspired by you and all the things that you love. Jackie, I've been such a big fan of yours for such a long time. Tell me a bit about how you got started in social media.
So, rewind back to 2009. As it pertains to like beauty, I would go to like a makeup counter or go makeup shopping, and I always felt rejected, always felt other. So I got so frustrated that eventually I was like, you know what? Not only am I gonna like not listen to them, but I'm gonna show other people how I'm making it work with my skin tone too.
How did you go from creating content, creating videos, to a product? You just have a brand called Forever Mood, you on Instagram shopping.
So Forever Mood was not only a bit of a love letter to me and my relationship with my mom. That's how we bond, was through fragrance ever since childhood. But it's been doing amazing, and we've actually getting a lot of support.
Jackie, the space is pretty magical, and I know it kind of reflects the stuff you love. But tell me a bit about what you love and why this represents you.
Okay, so first thing, color is everything. I love pastels. You can see it in the brand. You can see it like a lot of times when I wear. With the Metaverse, when we're curating collections or you just brainstorming, this would be a great way to like gather us all together and literally create atmospheres, environments, moods, just kind of hands creativity. And then if I can invite people, it would be like inviting them in my home. You know what I mean? It'd be like bringing them into a piece of me. So I would want them to feel some of the things that I feel when I step into my house or when I light my candles.
Interacting with people in comments and having a conversation is a way to kind of get your fan excited about interacting with you, but also you feel like you get a
I get excited too, yeah.
And so this idea of reaching kind of into the comment section and pulling a fan into having a conversation is pretty powerful. And it humanizes that person on the other end, of that comment. I think there's a really interesting opportunity to think about how we build community and how we engage with our fans in a really deep way, as opposed to just through a comment box. Imagine for your biggest fans, you could have an exclusive launch party where anyone could visit, no matter where they were in the world.
I love that because when we first launched the brand, everything was shut down because obviously quarantine, couldn't go anywhere. And I had this idea of doing like pop-ups for Forever Mood where we would have a room inspired by each scent.
And now anyone from anywhere in the world could come and feel what you just described and have that feeling, have that sense, really get into that mood. Also, you have your greatest fans, people that care a lot about you, the ability to reach new customers, use advertising to keep growing your business. You could also drop an exclusive product in the Metaverse where only available to your most ardent fans who paid special access to get that product.
That's dope.
Commerce is going to be a big part of the Metaverse. You'll be able to sell both digital and physical products. The butterfly effect transports us to something magical.
So beautiful.
So Jackie, as we walk through this amazing world, what does the Metaverse mean to you?
I just feel like this is like endless possibilities with my imagination.
I can't even begin to imagine how meaningful the Metaverse will be thanks to creators like you.
There's a lot here to be excited about. Just like the internet today, more people are going to have the freedom to find a business model that works for them, whether that's custom work, tipping, subscriptions, ads, or other monetization tools that may only make sense in the Metaverse. Now think about how many people make a living on the internet today. How many of those jobs just didn't even exist a few years ago? I expect that the Metaverse is going to open up lots of opportunities for people in the exact same way. Now, we have confidence in this general direction. We're investing significantly in building for this future, but the reality is that no one knows exactly which models are going to work and make this sustainable. So we're going to approach this with humility and openness, and we're going to work with anyone whose efforts will help bring the Metaverse to life. So now Boz is going to join us to talk about what people are already building for the Metaverse and what kinds of tools we can create to help out. Hey Boz, I'm still kind of jealous of your robot avatar.
Yeah, man, you gotta have the robot when you're working your dance moves, right?
I mean, of course.
Look, Mark, we've been working on Facebook Reality Labs for a long time. But we always kept the same vision, which is that we want to build tools that help people feel connected anytime, anywhere. And that vision is what drives us today, to help people get together in virtual spaces. We've come a long way since the early days of VR, thanks to the developers and the creators who see the potential to entertain and to educate. But of course, we still have a lot farther to go. So to keep the pace of innovation moving faster and empower more use cases, we do have a few exciting announcements.
Today, we're introducing the Presence Platform, which is a broad range of machine perception and AI capabilities that empower developers to build mixed reality experiences on Quest 2. Now, you want to tell us more about the Presence Platform?
Yeah, we said before that realistic presence is the key to feeling connected in the Metaverse. And the Presence Platform's capabilities are what's going to deliver on that promise. Things like environmental understanding, content placement and persistence, voice interaction, standardized hand interactions. In fact, let's start with hands. I mean, the human hand is an engineering marvel. And bringing hands into VR was no easy feat. It required a lot of collaboration against product, design, research, but we continue to improve that product, finding new ways to navigate with gestures and interact with VR. So today, we're introducing the Interaction SDK, a library of modular components that will make it easy to add hand interactions to your apps.
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, we really think this is going to help people accelerate the build time for new and existing titles that allow people to use their hands more naturally in more virtual experiences. Now, in addition to hands, there's another exciting interaction space for VR. That's your voice. The Voice SDK lets developers integrate voice input into their games and apps so they can create new gameplay and navigation. So soon, you'll be able to jump into a FedEx workout and shake the routine just by saying, surprise me. Oh, yeah, I've tried this one before. This one's really tough.
Yeah, me too. It is.
Since we launched the Pass-Through API, we've already seen breakthrough experiments from developers that blend the virtual and the real world. Soon, with our next SDK release, developers will be able to ship their mixed reality apps on the Oculus Store and an App Lab. Now, of course, access to Pass-Through by itself is not enough. To achieve that rich mixed reality experience, apps also need to be aware of things in the room and, blend the virtual objects with the physical environments around them so they can coexist in the same space. So developers want to be able to place, persistent world-locked content like animated holograms or your Instagram feed in your real space. And tools like spatial anchors and scene understanding capabilities will help make these mixed reality experiences feel seamless. Now, I'd gladly nerd out with you on the technical details of this with you, but I think it's better to show you. Load the world beyond. This is Oppie. Oppie, come on, Oppie. Who's a good persistent state virtual object laid on an interactive pass-through environment? Oh, you are. Yes, you are. Oppie, sit. Head to the Metaverse, man. Just as stubborn as they are in the physical world.
Boz, I always really wanted a forest in my living room.
Did you?
Not really. I'm looking forward to how developers are going to be able to build a new generation of mixed reality experiences on Quest 2. And it also gives us a glimpse of the kind of worlds that people are going to be able to build.
Now let's talk about augmented reality. With Spark, we really focus on those use cases that allow people to both stay engaged with the world around them, but also stay connected to the people that they're not around. And creators are really leading the way here. And we're doing everything we can to support them with our know-how, with our resources, and of course, with tools. And for more on that, I'd like to say hi to Sue, the product director at Facebook Reality Labs and the head of Spark AR.
Thanks, guys. Spark AR is focused on building AR experiences that empower people to be more connected and at the same time, more present with the world around them. And creators are helping us build these experiences of today while exploring the possibilities of tomorrow. Fundamentally, we're democratizing AR creation and enabling a global community with the tools and knowledge necessary to develop the AR content and experiences that people love to use. Programs like AR Curriculum enrolled over 22,000 creators in less than a year, and we're adding additional programming to support more advanced creators. And the depth and breadth of content would not be possible without these creators. In 1 week alone, you'll see effects that bring moments like landing on Mars or the launch of a new album to life, all by tapping into everyone's imaginations. We're also powering experiences across Facebook, so imagine playing that AR battleship game from your phone with a friend in the Metaverse or on an augmented call. How cool, right? Right now, we have over 600,000 creators in our community with diverse needs and motivations for using AR to engage with their fans and audiences. We know people, more than 700 million monthly across the Facebook family of apps, are already using AR a ton. We see over 80 billion effects applied per month, and we want to make it even easier for anyone to find their spark. So we created a tool, codenamed Polar, that makes AR creation possible for novice creators who have no prior experience in art, 2D or 3D design, or programming. Think paint by numbers. So creators whose first love might be photography, video, or dance can enhance their content for their own special effects. And that's an important piece of this vision and this community. It's open to anyone and everyone who's curious. And the metaverse is well positioned to be a strong digital economy for creators from all walks of life. This is primitive to a functioning metaverse. And we want to make sure creators are ready to share their creativity and capitalize on this emerging opportunity from day one.
Thanks, Sue. So that's some of the software platform that needs to get built to deliver the metaverse. But there are other important considerations here too. Hey, Nick.
Hey, Mark. I hope I'm not interrupting. You got a sec? Have you got Oppie with you?
I think Oppie's still in the virtual forest, but I always have time for you. What's going on?
Look, I just love the presentation so far. It's such visionary stuff. But as you mentioned early on, with all big technological advances, there are inevitably going to be all sorts of challenges and uncertainties. And I know you've talked about this a bit already, but people want to know how we're going to do all this in a responsible way, and especially that we play our part in helping to keep people safe and protect their privacy online.
Yeah, that's right. This is incredibly important.
The way I look at it is that in the past, the speed that new technologies emerged sometimes left policymakers and regulators playing catch-up. So on the one hand, companies get accused of charging ahead too quickly, and on the other, tech people feel that progress can't afford to wait for the slower pace of regulation. And I really think that it doesn't have to be the case this time round, because we have years until the metaverse we envision is fully realized. So this is the start of the journey, not the end.
Like I said earlier, interoperability, open standards, privacy, and safety need to be built into the metaverse from day one. And with all the novel technologies that are being developed, everyone who's building for the metaverse should be focused on building responsibly from the beginning. This is one of the lessons that I've internalized from the last 5 years. It's that you really want to emphasize these principles from the start. So at Connect last year, Boz outlined our responsible innovation principles, and the first one was never surprise people.
Right, and that means being transparent about how things work, what data is collected, and how that data is used over time. It also means giving people easy-to-use safety controls, as well as age guidance and parental controls for when youngsters are using these products.
And we're spending a lot of time talking with experts and getting perspectives from outside the company on what we're building, even before we build it. This is about designing for safety and privacy and inclusion before the products even exist. And one example is what we're doing with Project Aria, our research device that helps inform the AR glasses that we're building. We're also funding external research on this. Last year we announced grants for research on the impact of AR, VR, and smart devices on people who aren't currently using them, especially communities whose perspectives have often been overlooked, as well as best practices for creating inclusive environments and virtual spaces. And this year we're opening up support for even more research because we need those independent perspectives to make sure that we're living up to another one of our principles: consider everyone.
And that point is so important because this is a collaborative exercise. And in particular, we need to make sure the human rights and civil rights communities are involved. So these technologies are built in a way that's inclusive and empowering.
One of the advantages of starting right now is that we can collaborate with people at the very early stages of development, like what we're doing through the new fund that you announced a few weeks ago.
Yeah, the XR Programs and Research Fund. It's a 2-year, $50 million investment in programs and external research with organizations all over the world, like Howard University, Women in Immersive Tech, Africa No Filter, and universities in Seoul, Hong Kong, and Singapore. And this is crucial because, as we've said, the metaverse isn't something we're building so much as it's something we're building for.
Across the industry, we need to bring that same imagination and commitment to building for interoperability, openness, safety, and privacy as we do for all the other product aspects of the metaverse. These have to be fundamental building blocks, just like the other software and experiences that we've been talking about.
Right.
All right, thanks, Nick. So one thing that we haven't talked about much yet is the future of hardware that will help bring the metaverse to life. We're working on multiple new products to advance the state of the art, unlock richer social interactions, and make it a lot easier to be productive. That must be Angela, our head of VR devices. Hey, Angela.
Hey, Mark.
Is that what I think it is?
I sure hope it is.
All right, come on in. So what do you think is the most exciting thing that we're working on right now?
That's hard to say. We have such an exciting pipeline. But next year, we are releasing a new product that will push the boundaries of VR even further. We've codenamed it Project Cambria.
So this isn't the next Quest. It's going to be compatible with Quest, but Cambria will be a completely new advanced and high-end product, and it'll be at the higher end of the price spectrum too. Our plan here is to keep building out this product line to release our most advanced technology before we can hit the price points that we target with Quest. All right, so let's talk about some of the new advances here.
Yeah, sure. There's a ton of new tech going into Cambria. For example, your avatar will be able to make natural eye contact and reflect your facial expressions in real time. This way, people you're interacting with will have a real sense of how you're actually feeling. It does mean building more sensors into a form factor that's comfortable to wear for a while. And because we want VR to be for everyone, we also have to make sure avatars represent a diverse set of human facial features and skin tones, as well as paying attention to things like glasses and beards that might get in the way of some of the sensors.
So that's going to be a big step forward for social presence, and I'm really glad we're focused on making it inclusive from the start. Now, what about unlocking more mixed reality experiences? I mean, imagine working at your virtual desk with multiple screens while seeing your real desk so clearly that you can pick up a pen and write notes without taking your headset off. Or you're doing a workout with a virtual instructor in your living room.
It's going to be so cool. We're already seeing the potentials of these kinds of experiences today as people are building for a pass-through API. But with Cambria, we'll be taking this to the next level with high-resolution, colored, mixed reality pass-through. We essentially combine an array of sensors with reconstruction algorithms to represent your physical world in the headset with a sense of depth and perspective. Now, we're still a ways away from exactly matching what I see in the physical world, but we're pretty encouraged by how far we've been able to advance the pass-through experience so far.
Definitely, but we also need to push the visuals to the next level. So let's talk about the progress that we're making on optics.
Yeah, we're pushing the limits of display technology and form factor with something called pancake optics. They essentially work by folding light several times over to achieve a slimmer profile than current lenses. Now, with several optical layers, we'll need to precisely control every aspect of design and fabrication to achieve that high-quality, artifact-free display and really just deliver the best optics ever in one of our headsets.
That's pretty awesome. But let's make sure we leave some of the good stuff for next year's release too. All right, now I'm excited to keep building out this new product line over future generations so we can keep getting our most advanced technology into people's hands even before we can get it into our Quest product line.
That's our goal. We're starting to work with developers to build experiences for Cambria as we speak, and we're looking forward to sharing so much more with y'all next year.
Sounds good. Now, beyond virtual reality, we're also focused on the hardware to make true augmented reality possible. In a lot of ways, augmented reality is even harder, not just because we need to invent a completely new optical stack that's not based on screens, but because we basically need to fit a supercomputer into a pair of normal-looking glasses. So we're approaching this problem from two directions. First, how much technology can we pack into a pair of normal, great-looking glasses today? And second, how do we take the long-term tech stack to do everything and keep miniaturizing and improving it until it fits into a pair of normal, good-looking glasses? On the first path, last month we launched Ray-Ban Stories, our first smart glasses in partnership with EssilorLuxottica. They're not full AR glasses yet, but they let you take pictures and videos, listen to music, and take phone calls while you're out looking at the world instead of down at your phone. And we built leading privacy features into the glasses, like the LED light whenever you're recording, which phones don't even have. And we delivered this in the iconic Ray-Ban style for just $299. These are all steps along the path to an embodied internet. But the ultimate goal here is true augmented reality glasses, and we've been working on that too. And today, I want to show you an experience that we've been working on for Project Nesse, which is the codename for our first full augmented reality glasses. Here, you'll see you're chatting with friends on WhatsApp and planning a game night. You can select a game, and then as you walk over your kitchen, you can easily just put your game onto the table and you're off. And that's the kind of experience that augmented reality will unlock. There's a lot of technical work to get this form factor and experience right. We have to fit hologram displays, projectors, batteries, radios, custom silicon chips, cameras, speakers, sensors to map the world around you, and more into glasses that are about 5 millimeters thick. So we still have a ways to go with Nesse, but we're making good progress. I'm excited about our future roadmap, but even that's still early in a journey that's going to go on for decades. Immersive all-day experiences will require a lot of novel technologies, and for the last 7 years, our research team has been working on a broad array of technologies that are necessary for these next-generation platforms. Michael Abrash leads this team, and he's going to join me to talk about some of the future technology that we're developing. Hey, Michael, do you want to take everyone through our roadmap?
Sure. That covers a lot of ground, though. It's going to take about a dozen major technological breakthroughs to get to the next-generation metaverse, and we're working on all of them. Displays, audio, input, haptics, hand tracking, eye tracking, mixed reality, sensors, graphics, computer vision, avatars, perceptual science, AI, and more.
Yeah, you're right. That's a lot. We probably only have time for a couple right now. You want to pick a few?
Well, I think the metaverse is really going to be first and foremost about connecting people, so I'd say let's start with avatars.
Yeah, I agree. The goal here is to have both realistic and stylized avatars that create a deep feeling that we're present with people.
Exactly, and we've shown codec avatars before.
Well, what can your face do? Can you show us?
Well, I've always hoped you would ask me that question.
And it's a remarkable experience to see codec avatars in VR, and photorealistic avatars will be a huge breakthrough, but they're only part of the picture.
Yeah, because you're not always going to want to look exactly like yourself. That's why people shave their beards, dress up, style their hair, put on makeup, or get tattoos, and of course, you'll be able to do all of that and more in the metaverse.
So this next video shows how we're making progress on part of that with hair and skin rendering and relighting for 3D avatars.
She's going for some medical field. I think she was interested into...
Now, I want to point out this technology is still very definitely research, but it shows the really high level of fidelity that avatars are ultimately going to need to reach. Notice that you can see the individual pores on his skin. Now, clothing is another important way to express yourself. And whether you want to simulate your actual garments, say you're making a quick call with your grandmother, or maybe you just want to be wearing a stylish blue Oxford shirt like me, you're going to need the ability to simulate clothing. So here's an early look at hand-cloth interaction. And you can see how the movement of the cloth when the hand touches and stretches it is really remarkably accurate.
Now, to use your avatar to teleport to a meeting or sit down for a chat in the metaverse, you'll also need realistic virtual spaces to be with people in. So let's look at that. Contrary to how this looks, this is actually not a video of the physical world. It's a 3D reconstruction of a mock apartment, which I guess just became clear when that bowl took off by itself.
Exactly. So what you can see here is that a researcher is moving around various objects on the right, and then on the left you can see the high-fidelity real-time rendering of the space in the moving objects on the left without the researcher. So what's critical here is that this is all happening in real time. That's what's novel here, and that's what differentiates it from CGI. So what we've seen so far is pretty awesome, but we all know what we want. We want the whole package, a full-body avatar in a virtual environment, so you're just there. Last year, we showed our very first full-body codec avatar at Connect. Here to tell you more about our progress since then is Yasser Sheikh.
Hi there. My name is Yasser, and I direct the Facebook Reality Research Lab in Pittsburgh. Well, that's not complete picture. What you're seeing is actually a rendering of my pre-recorded codec avatar. Over the past couple of years, we've made quite a bit of progress with codec avatars. My avatar can now look left, look right, look up, look down, make facial expressions.
Here, you can see Elena's in VR on the right. You can see her view of Yasser's avatar and the reconstructed real-world space that it's in on the left as she moves around the avatar. What you see on the left is an entirely virtual reconstruction. This gives you a sense of a future in which you'll be able to interact with another person's realistic avatar in virtual reality in real time. Now, preventing others from using your avatar will be critical. That's why, even though this is early-stage research, we're already thinking about how we could secure your avatar, whether by tying it to an authenticated account or by verifying identity in some other way.
All right, so we've talked about what we're going to be able to see, but of course we also want to be able to actually do things in the metaverse. And while seeing your hands in VR and manipulating virtual objects is a big step forward towards that, we're going to need an even easier and more intuitive way to interact with virtual content when you're on the go wearing AR glasses. And we believe that neural interfaces are going to be an important part of how we interact with AR glasses. And more specifically, EMG input from the muscles on your wrist combined with contextualized AI. It turns out that we all have unused neuromotor pathways, and with simple and perhaps even imperceptible gestures, sensors will one day be able to translate those neuromotor signals into digital commands that enable you to control your devices. It's pretty wild. So let's take a look at what EMG input is going to be able to do and where we are with it today. This video shows some of the ways that we think that wrist-based neural interfaces can provide an important input tool for AR glasses. So at first, that input is going to just be around enabling basic gestures, click, scroll, select. But as the technology evolves, EMG input could potentially unlock full-speed typing, and it could give you subtle, personalized controls that you can use in any situation. This is genuinely unprecedented technology. So let's look at an early prototype that shows how it could be used in AR.
This experimental UI shows for the first time how EMG input could one day allow you to send a message in AR with your hand resting comfortably at your side without ever having to look at a screen. Notice how the researcher used an overt and highly visible click gesture to send the first message. We've made a lot of progress over the last year, and we're now able to do the same thing with the smallest of movements of the hand. EMG enables this by picking up subtle neuromotor commands with remarkable precision. So basically what you're saying is that you're going to be able to send a text message just by thinking about moving your fingers. That's going to be pretty amazing. But I guess it's just one part of the equation, because the other is AI that understands your context and can give you a simple set of choices based on that context. So let's take a look at an AI interaction model that we built using Project Aria, our initiative to accelerate research into AR glasses and live maps that we talked about last year.
Remember the mock apartment we saw earlier? Well, we've indexed every single object in it, including not only location, but also the texture, geometry, and function of each one. We've fed all that information into the Project Aria glasses Mingfei is wearing in this next demo. And the reason is to simulate how AR glasses will ultimately be able to access data from a 3D map that will help them identify the real-world objects in the space around you and better understand your context so they can help you. What's happening here is that the glasses are calculating where Mingfei is in the room, locating and identifying all the nearby objects based on the index mentioned earlier, and figuring out which of those objects Mingfei is interested in by observing her eye movements. That contextual information, in turn, enables the system to offer proactive assistance to Mingfei in a variety of ways. Here, the system knows that she may want to turn on the TV, so when she clicks while looking at it, the system turns it on. Ultimately, her AR glasses will tell her what her available actions are at any time.
Hey assistant, where's my favorite mug?
We're